Okay, Michael Klassen here, crema.co. Today it's a video. Usually I do the little Sunday Sippin' newsletters, so this is new to me, actually having to talk and not getting to write. But today I wanted to do a video unboxing this new Story Arco Grinder. Now, if you ever buy anything on Kickstarter, you know it takes like, I don't know, 10 years to get it, it feels like. So this, I don't know how long this thing took. It took years, probably. Sorry to call you guys out at Goat Story, but everything on Kickstarter takes a long time. I get it. It's just frustrating. Anyway, I'm excited to try it, and here's the reason. I have the Fellow grinder. I also have a Baratza grinder somewhere around here. I had it before the Fellow. Of course, Fellow is cool looking and modern and everything, but they have a massive flaw with chaff. You get chaff everywhere, and they don't seem too worried about it. I, on the other hand, have to vacuum up every time I use the grinder. So if you're like me, it's frustrating. And so when this came out, I was skeptical. I'm still skeptical. We're gonna unbox it, we're gonna demo it, and who knows? Maybe the world becomes a brighter place because it no longer makes a mess. We'll see. All right, hopefully you can see this. Opening it quickly, we have our instructions. I know I'm a guy, I'm not gonna look at them, but then I'm gonna have to revert to them when something doesn't work. So I'll get back to those in a minute. And then the axle lock tool. I guess you can lock the axle. All right. Here we have it. First thing, the handle. Now, here's the coolest thing I think about this grinder so far. Now, just quickly looking at it, it is actually pretty sleek looking. So we'll talk about cool points in a second. But this grinder can be a manual grinder or electric grinder. So whether you want to go, I'm not trying to be a salesman for it, but I do like the idea of taking it with me. You know, when I go to a hotel, I take a kettle, I take my Kalita. I don't mess with that hotel coffee. I don't even care if it's a 5-star because it's going to be some kind of burnt crap that they charge me $18 for. So I do like the idea of taking a grinder with me, or the power goes out, who knows. I'm not left in the lurch, but we'll see how that works. Okay, this, first of all, is kind of the electric side of it, right? So basically a bunch of electrical components in here. It's quite heavy. It's got some strength to it. So good thing this actually isn't the part you take. And then here is the grinding apparatus. So this is kind of the nuts and bolts, the most important thing. And this is what I want to focus on first, okay? So two parts, basically. You have the some silica sand in here. Don't eat that. You have the chamber that catches the coffee, and then you have basically, this is the grinder here, the burr grinder under here, and then this piece right here is the coarseness, fineness. Now, I'm going to be honest, the coarseness, fineness takes some dialing in. There is, I believe, a part in the book, I quickly looked at it, where it does show like some grinding scale or something. Again, didn't read it yet, so I don't exactly know how it works. But I know you gotta dial that in, but that's kind of the same for any grinder, and I don't really mind playing around with it to do it. However, if you don't want to waste coffee, I probably suggest looking at the manual and saving yourself a few dollars in lost coffee because it's too fine or too coarse. All right, this fits on here. Magnets. Magnets always save the day. I have some super good coffee from Torque we're going to use as our demo today. If you don't know Torque, you should. Check out proportional pricing. There's a thing on Sunday Sippin' about it. It's a cool concept. You should learn about it. 20%. Anyway, we'll drop some coffee beans in here. Nice smell. Good smell. Okay. Fits right on here. Pretty straightforward. I got it. I think this is where I'm supposed to hold it. There's this little rubber sleeve here, so that's gonna give me some grip. Let's go to work. Okay, so I did grind, it was easy, but I'm way too coarse. So I'm gonna adjust this down the other way. I'm gonna go quite a bit. Now you can turn this thing a lot, like several rotations. I think it has 3 full rotations, and then within each rotation is, you know, you get more fine, right? So when you look at it in the book, there's like level 0, anything in that realm is espresso, 1 is like filter and maybe a mocha pot, and then like level 2 is French press, level 3 cold brew. So I'm just turned to here. I'm gonna do this again. See where I'm getting? Still too coarse, but you can see it's all working pretty well. Okay, now let's try this thing non-manual, plugged in. So put that for now. Now this, still got the coffee beans in there. I will say, so far pretty good. I don't have any chaff. That's a strong start. That's a strong start, let's be honest. This was my whole complaint in the beginning, and so far, other than the little grinds mess I've made here, which is not that big a deal, things are looking peachy keen. I still don't know how to get it where the right setting is yet. I use a Kalita or I use a ratio brewer, so I got to figure that out. But anyway, so far so good. Still have the grinds in there. I also will say you got to do quite a bit of revolutions to get enough coffee. So if you're trying to bring enough to brew a full pot, your arm might be a little tired after a while, but such is the case. It's pretty much the same with any manual grinder, to be honest. All right, there's some little teeth in here. These fit in here and twist. Lining it up is a bit of a beast, but looks like it went okay for me today. All right, we'll undo this cord here. I have an extension cord. I know this won't reach. Moment of truth. I'm gonna drop a little bit more beans in here simply to demonstrate, thank you Torque for your coffee, that this is where the beans go. Now this hole is pretty small in comparison to others. Not that it needs to be a big hole, but don't just dump, because you'll be picking up beans. All right, this is a pretty color, by the way, copper, as you can tell, kind of like copper. Okay, yeah, still way too coarse, right? I'm gonna make it a lot finer. The only, I guess, concern I have, I don't know, is how do you know when it's done? Like, when I open this, you can't see, of course. Like, there's a thing in here that kind of blocks your vision. And the grinding doesn't sound different when it's done. So that's the only thing that I guess is a bit of a challenge, is how do you know you got enough coffee? Okay, so still way too coarse, which is just a matter of dialing in. I'm getting there, but I'm still way too coarse. As I said, you can turn this thing a ton. It's got quite a wide range from espresso to like a super coarse cold brew or something. Nevertheless, here's what I want to share. What don't you see? That's right, no golden brown, annoying little flakes clinging to me and my clothes and this and the counter. This thing manages to not shed chaff. And that was what I was looking for in a grinder from day one. So, if you want a grinder that is clean, that is sleek, I mean, it's pretty modern looking, you know? It's pretty neat. It's the fact that this thing can go mobile at any time, that's a win. I would recommend this. I would actually recommend this. I didn't give these guys a lot of credit in the beginning. I don't know why, I just kind of didn't like their first brewer, the Goat Story brewer, as much, but their grinder, I think it's a home run. So if you're looking for a grinder, I have no clue what I paid for it. You'll have to look it up. Like I said, I got it on Kickstarter, so the price probably isn't even the same. But look up their website. It's the Arco Grinder by Goat Story. It's a good product. It's a good product if you're a coffee drinker. All right, thank you. Another time.